Page 2, Homeostasis. Created by Arthur Rumrill. Homeostasis. Noun, a relatively stable state of equilibrium, or a tendency towards such a state between the different but interdependent elements or groups of elements of an organism, population, or group. The maintenance of relatively stable internal physiological conditions, such as body temperature or the pH of blood, in higher animals under fluctuating environmental conditions. A state of psychological equilibrium obtained when tension or a drive has been reduced or eliminated. Dawn slips through the sapling weave, gray, thin light catching on dew. The dome creaks once, holds. No flames licking the edges anymore. Just cold pressing in, testing us. Last night the tears came, hot, silent, 30 years locked away, not broken, released. The drive to feel nothing, eased, just enough. The mind quiets, not gone, just balanced on the edge of what remains. The shelter was warm despite the bitter cold outside. The walls insulated with the sod and still alive with grass, but winter was coming. I knew it, and the earth knew it. The sun was just lighting the sky. Stand to. That was what they had called it in the army. Sitting here in the still at the end of my world. Empty peace. Time to clear my mind for the day. Just thoughts of peace and being present in the moment. Little man stirred as he began to wake. His eyes cracked open, sleep-crusted, searching the gray half-light until they found me. A small sound, half yawn, half question. "Daddy?" I squeezed his hand once, steady. "Right here, buddy, still here." This was the beginning. Not the fire's end, but the true start of everything rebuilt from scratch. The wife had walked out before the candles tipped. Best thing she ever did, though the heart still locked around the loss. Now the world had narrowed to two. Me and little man. No one else to lean on. No one else to fail us. Self-sufficiency wasn't pride. It was necessity wrapped in quiet gratitude. We built here because the stream never stops. Cold water from the high snows flowing even when the ground freezes above. Palms stand guard along the banks, their fans catching what sun breaks through winter clouds. Snow piles on the peaks, drifts down sometimes to dust our sod walls, but the palms don't bow. They remind us, endure, give what you can, keep growing. Not against the seasons, with them. Fighting the seasons is a sure way to succumb to the dangers of them. The new life is built upon layers. Layer 1, survival. The dome of sod and palm thatch breathing with the canyon. Willow traps set in the riffle, passive, letting the current bring fish while we rest. Regrown greens from discarded store scraps. Celery bases unfurling in stream jars, onion roots threading green again, romaine hearts sprouting fresh leaves, roots dug from sheltered bends, burdock, wild carrots, dandelion, pemmican pounded by firelight, dried meat powdered, fat rendered, berries if we find them. Hardtack baked low on coals, bread that lasts forever if kept dry. Pine tea steeped from needle tips, vitamin C against winter ills. Little man learns by watching first, then doing. Hands weave the trap, dig the root, pound the meat. The why comes later, quiet, when the action has already settled into his bones. These roots hide from the cold. We take only what we need, leave the small ones to grow again. That way, the earth keeps giving. Layer 2, knowledge. Discarded books salvaged from behind libraries and schools. Pages dusted, bindings mended with palm fiber. Little man learns to read at 3.5, not forced, not drilled. One dusk he traces fox runs in a picture book and feels the fox's hurry behind the letters. He doesn't just decode, he understands the essence. Words are bridges carrying feeling across time, across loss. The foraging guide shows burdock. He digs one and knows the book and the root are the same life. A children's story ends, and he was never alone again. He looks at me and says, like us. The essence spills out, wonder, recognition, insight. Knowledge regrows like the celery stumps, free, endless, multiplying in the telling. Layer 3, utility. Surplus greens bundled with care, crisp, canyon fresh, tasting of snowmelt and palm shade. Roadside stand or quiet market spot. Small cash accumulates. Enough to buy a used laptop, a burner phone. 5G tethered by Bluetooth. Turned on only when the sun is high and little man is safe. Reconnect with 2 former clients who missed the work. Within 2 years, the old banking account wakes up. Access regained through careful calls and proof. Direct deposits land quiet. Green sales funnel in. The balance grows slow but steady. Enough to replace a failing cell, buy seeds, restock the medical kit. No lavish spending, no lifestyle creep. The money seems more like a living thing than a tool. Not a thing to be worshipped, but another being to be understood and lived alongside. One evening, little man looks at the closed laptop. The numbers went up again. That's money, right? Yeah. Someone gave it because the work helped them. But why does it feel alive? Because money isn't just numbers. It's the blood and work of the person who gave it to you. They spent their time, their hands, their energy. That's their life flowing out, made small and movable so it can reach us here. When we sell the greens or send words, we're giving our blood and work too. It's a quiet exchange, trading breaths. So we treat it nice, like a friend who visits sometimes. Yeah, buddy, a friend who visits sometimes. The lamp flickers once, batteries low but holding. Outside, the stream murmurs steady. Palms stand quiet under the moon. The money breathes in its place. Seasons of fire lead to seasons of rebirth and healthy growth. Here, where mountain streams run clear under snow-dusted palms, the wheel turns without cruelty. Winter presses, but water flows. Fronds hold green, roots wait. Little man sleeps, small chest rising steady. I watch the light fade on a palm frond outside the weave. Not against the seasons. With them, when the mind is calm, the soul is free.